Pick up your phone right now. Go to your settings, find the Bluetooth menu, and just look at that word sitting there. Bluetooth. You have tapped it hundreds of times without a second thought. You use it to play music, connect your earphones, link your keyboard, pair your car. It is one of the most used wireless technologies on the planet, running quietly in the background of modern life every single day. So why is it called Bluetooth? Did someone spill a blueberry? Is it a color reference to the radio waves it uses? Is it an acronym nobody bothered to explain? And what could any of it possibly have to do with a king who died over 1,000 years ago? Today we are going into the surprisingly human story behind one of tech's most peculiar names, right here on Simple History of Things for You. To understand the name, you have to go back to the late 1990s. A group of engineers from several competing technology companies, Intel, Ericsson, Nokia, and IBM among them, were working on a serious problem. Devices could not talk to each other. Every manufacturer used different cables, different connectors, different protocols. A headset from one brand would not work with a phone from another. The industry was fragmented, and consumers were paying for it in frustration every single day. The engineers needed a short-range wireless communication standard that every manufacturer could adopt. Something open, universal, and cable-free. The technical work was complex, but the project needed a name, something temporary to use during development while they figured out the permanent branding. One of the engineers on the project was a man named Jim Kardak, working for Intel. Kardak was, at the time, reading a historical novel called The Long Ships by Franz Gunnar Bengtsson, a sweeping Viking adventure set in the 10th century. The book featured Harald Bluetooth, King of Denmark, a real historical figure who ruled from approximately 958 to 986 AD. Harald Bluetooth was not famous for his navy or his battles, though he had both. He was famous for something far more relevant to what these engineers were trying to do. Harald Bluetooth unified the warring, fractious tribes of Denmark and Norway under a single crown. He brought together groups that had been operating separately, communicating in different ways, following different rules, and made them function as one. He was, in the most literal historical sense, a unifier of disconnected things. Kardak made the connection immediately. Here was a group of competing technology companies, Intel, Ericsson, Nokia, IBM, trying to unify their disconnected devices under a single communication standard. The parallel was exact. Harald had unified Scandinavia. They were trying to unify the wireless technology industry. The name Bluetooth was proposed as a code name, something to use internally while the permanent name was decided. The permanent name never came. Bluetooth stuck. The logo carries the same history. The Bluetooth symbol is a combination of two runic initials, the H and the B of Harald Bluetooth, rendered in the Viking runic alphabet. Every time you see that small angular symbol on your earphones, your speaker, your car dashboard, you are looking at the initials of a 10th century Danish king pressed into modern consumer electronics. A man who died around 986 AD has his monogram on devices that did not exist until 1,000 years after his death. Harald himself, according to historical accounts, got his nickname from a visibly discolored tooth, dark or dead in color, likely from an old injury. The tooth was reportedly so distinctive that it became the detail people remembered. A king remembered for a single dead tooth now lends his name to a technology connecting billions of devices worldwide. So why is Bluetooth named after a dead Viking king? Because a tired engineer reading a historical novel on his commute noticed that a 10th century Danish ruler had already solved the exact problem they were trying to solve, and the code name they gave that observation never left the room. The next time you connect your earphones and see that runic symbol appear on your screen, you are completing a connection that runs from a Viking king's court in 10th century Denmark to wherever you are sitting right now. That is not a coincidence preserved by accident. It is history hiding in plain sight on the device in your hand. Did you know about the Viking connection before today? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. And if today's video made you look at your phone settings differently, like, subscribe, and stay with us here on Simple History of Things for You, where the smallest details of ordinary life always carry the deepest stories underneath them.